Hey, it's Shauna from Heritage Creations Cut Flowers, and it is October 17th. I have gotten 6 trays of plugs from Farmer Bailey, and so today, well, actually this weekend, so I'm not really sure. This might span through the weekend. We are planting out all these trays. We're trying to figure out where to plant them all because if you've seen our videos from last year, we had some trouble with some soil. So we've dug up that soil and we've put new soil out in this middle garden area, but we're a little leery. Like I have 2 trays of snapdragons. I'm a little leery of planting all my snapdragons like in that row. Might need to plant some in the upper row. So we're still deciding on where we should plant everything. And I think we've come up with, we're going to split it between these middle rows that we've started that are new, and then the old rows in the upper garden, just to be on the safe side in case those decide to do something weird like they did last year. At least we'd still have the ones in the upper garden. So we'll see. But that's the plan presently. And I am going to try something a little bit different. I've looked up and researched that Sunny Meadows, they plant their snapdragons really close together, closer than I've ever done. So I think that I'm going to plant, I use the Hortonova netting, the 6-inch square, and I'm going to plant my snapdragons 3 to a square. Sounds really close to me. But I have 2 trays of 210 each. I have trouble starting snapdragons. Campanula, I've never tried to start, so I just bought this. Dianthus and Status, so that's what I bought from Farmer Bailey. They're not that expensive, so I just went ahead and bought them because I have trouble starting them. And so now that I actually have a decent amount, I need to kind of shove everything in. So that's another reason I think that I'm going to plant 3 to a square, because not only do I have these, but next week I have another set coming as well. So I need to get all these in my rows. And I also have a row, this covered row right here. I've got anemones to soak and put in there. So that row is already taken up. So we'll see how all this goes. In the row where we're putting the snapdragons right there, we had it covered with leaf mulch, but these are small, so we had to take off the leaf mulch. We're going to put down the Hortonova netting, and then when I do my anemones, I don't ever, like last year, I didn't pull up all the corms, so there was not a lot, but there were several sprouting already. So actually I just dug those up and put those in my pollinator areas. If they live, they live. If not, nah, whatever. So let's see how all this goes. See, I'd also been thinking, either we dig these up and plant them somewhere in our landscape, or we dig them up and put them in that row. The anemones that have come back. Just in case you've never seen the size of these plugs, this is the size of the plug that comes from Farmer Billy. 210 of these. Some of them actually have 2 snapdragons in there, but these are cool orange. And as I said, I have never planted them 3 to a row. To a square. So let's check this out. I'm going to pop out a row here first. And let's see. Might not do 3 on every row, like this row that has the water in it. It might just get 2. And I think I'm going to go just 4 across. I don't know, guys, what to do. Yeah, it's a crapshoot. But I do think the closer together, they're kind of support each other, because I do get really curvy stems. So I think they'll support each other. Again, I did research it. Sunny Meadows does 3. They're much more experienced than me. I should just go with them and quit second guessing myself. To conserve space in your garden and you need snapdragons, which I do. I need a lot of them. The way that I am planting them this year is the way to go. Now, I haven't seen the end result yet, so that is yet to be determined, but I did do research, and one of the farms, Sunny Meadow Farms, which is a huge farm, they've been growing a lot longer than me. She knows her stuff way better than me. They plant in high tunnels, and every square inch is money, especially in the high tunnel. And she plants 3 snapdragons to every square in her high tunnel. And she said she gets long, tall stems and they don't have any trouble, and that's what they do. And they've been doing that for years. So I decided that I was going to try that, but because I saw it wasn't taking up much space at all, I decided to go 2, 3, 2, 3. So that's how I planted mine. And it barely even took up 1/3 of the bed. So it's definitely space savvy. Again, the end result will be determined this spring. I think that it's going to work because I tend to get wonky stems. I feel like the more compact they are in here, they're going to help support each other. They're going to grow up taller and straighter because they're going to be reaching for the light. It all makes sense to me. And that's why I did it. But again, I'll have to show you the results in the end. We'll see. If I stand back here, it all fits in this frame where I planted the snapdragons. And then we'll pan out to the rest of the row. So again, not even 1/3 of the row. It's Friday and it's a flower shed Friday. I came to check. I have 2 bouquets left in here. Lots of candles. Nobody's buying the candles or the dried pumpkins. Right there. Right there. And then my cute little neighbor has her bracelets. So honestly, those two are the last 2 bouquets I have. I only had 6 because that's all the flowers I had, and I ran out of time yesterday. So I think I have to stop planting right now and go cut some flowers to make probably maybe just 4 more bouquets. I think that's what I'm going to do. Probably after lunch though. So this planting video is probably going to take a couple days. Got the flowers cut, 3 buckets of flowers. All right, so sunflowers and right here. Sunflowers and eucalyptus, and then over here mums, and then over here dahlias and marigolds. And so I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to get the bouquets made. Before tomorrow morning. midway through Saturday, and I have 4 of my trays planted. Let me show you. All right, so right here is where I planted the snapdragons, and we have to cover them with netting because of the bunnies. So that's why they're covered with netting. And then this open area, I've got more snapdragons coming next week. That's where that's going to be planted. And then I planted campanula. There at the end. So here is the other tray of snapdragons that I planted. I did the same thing. I did a 2, 3, 2, 3 planting of those. So it's at this end, and then we have the wire hoops. Bob's done those so that we can put the netting over the top of these so the rabbits don't eat those. And then down here I've got campanula. So the campanula, I just did 1 per square, and in order to get all of my plugs in the ground, these I've done 6 across. So, and just up in the upper garden that I just showed you, those are 6 across as well. So 1 per square, but 6 across. So I have those here with the wire hoops on top, and then the netting will go on top of those. I have statice and dianthus left to plant out today. This short row is where I am about to start planting the dianthus and the statice. It won't all fit in this short row, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rest that's not going to fit. But I'm just going to get to planting. And I have to say that we're able to get some of this done a lot quicker than I thought because we work as a really good team. I've been doing the planting. Bob has uncovered the rows, put up all the netting so that when I get to the row, all I have to do is plant. And then as I'm planting, he'll go back over to the row that I've planted. He'll put the wire hoops on and then put the netting over the top. So if I had to do just all of that all by myself, it would take forever. So I've always said it's a good thing that I have help because I could definitely not do this by myself. Definitely takes 2 people to get all of this done in a very timely manner. So off to planting. See, as you can see in the background back there, he's already got the netting out that he's going to put over those rows that I just showed you. He's going to over the snapdragons and the campanula. That's the netting. See how that works? I wanted to talk a little bit about snapdragons while you watch Bob set up the netting and us doing some planting. So here in this video, you've seen me plant the cool orange and the chantilly. Those are both a group 1-2 snapdragons, which means they bloom the earliest. Next week, I have the Madam Butterfly and the Potomac coming, and those are a group 3-4 snapdragon. And so my hope is that I'll have, a longer succession of snapdragons blooming since I've got the 1-2 and the 3-4. And you'll see it, but I don't know if you'll be able to really see it because it's in the fast forward mode. But when we uncovered that one row where we just planted the statice, there was a snake in there, and it was right behind me as I was planting. And Bob came over and he was like, "Get up and walk that way." And at first I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "Oh no, I bet it's a snake." So I did, and he got the snake. He was just a black snake, but here's the thing, I'm scared of all snakes. So anyway. It is 4:15 and we have finished planting all of the trays from Farmer Bailey. So that's super exciting. We still have our peonies to plant, 50 peonies. Don't know if that'll happen today. Bob is back there getting the hoops, the wire hoops on so we can cover up the 2 rows that we just planted with the insect netting, which again is to deter the rabbits from eating everything that we just planted. So this row is the dianthus right here, and I did plant the dianthus 6 across, 1 in each square. And at the very end down there, started with some of the statice. And because in the past statice has been difficult to cut, it starts out really short and then it throws up a lot of stems. So we decided we were going to do a checkerboard pattern on our statice, which really means there just is 3 across in a row. Obviously that is not very space savvy, but I do think it's going to be better when we're harvesting, because we always have trouble harvesting statice. It gets really tangly and difficult to harvest. So again, always experimenting and trying to do better. So we'll see how this goes come spring. Over there is where we plan on planting the peonies. So we'll see if that's going to happen today. Look at the 2 pretty rows of mums. Anyway, after I cut flowers, I did make 6 bouquets last night. And here we are at the flower shed. It is 4:20, which for us probably means that no one's going to come. And so I have 4 bouquets left. Oh well. Again, if I didn't make them, I couldn't sell anything. So you never know. You never know how many people are going to stop by, come by, that kind of thing. Just open Friday and Saturday. So typically what happens is we have a neighbor down the street, Ron and Nancy. We'll give them a bouquet. I'll probably give my mom a bouquet. So, I mean, they never go to waste. But obviously, you always wish you would sell them all. Here are the bouquets, and I'm super excited about them. I think they're really pretty, super fall. They've got sunflowers and dahlias, mums. I love seeing rows of baby plants. Just love it. We labeled all our rows this year to help us keep better track of the garden. So when I ordered all of my trays and whatnot and started seeds and everything, I made a plan by the row numbers. Didn't exactly stick to that. So now I'm going back and writing in what I actually planted in each row to help me keep better track. Even though I do put markers in the rows out there, but sometimes you know how that goes. You can't find them. It's Sunday and we're planting the new peony roots that I got from Farmer Bailey. You see us putting these flags in here because we want to know where the roots are that we're planting, because we haven't put our irrigation in yet. So we need to know where to put the emitters. Then you'll see us in a minute. We start digging up the old peony roots that, yes, this is the 3rd time that we've moved these peony roots, because the first time we planted them in a place that was too wet, and now they're not doing too well here either. So we're filling in the rest of this row. I just decided to sit down and recap the weekend. So what you just saw is we planted out 50 new peony roots. Last year about this time we planted, oh my goodness, I'd have to go back and look, but I think 150 peony roots. And we did not know our property very well, because where we planted them all, when it came springtime, it was way too wet for them. So we had to dig them up, put them somewhere else, and then what you saw at the end there is we were moving some of those peonies for the 3rd time. Yep, 3rd time. Crazy. Okay, so if anybody's wondering, we did also plant the peonies 18 inches apart lengthwise and 18 inches apart widthwise. And then we did stagger them like this. So if a peony is planted here, then that one over here is here. So, you know, kind of in a zigzag pattern. So that's how we plant the peonies. The hoop house behind me, I am going to be planting flowers in this year for the first time to see if I can get early flowers for Easter. Again, an experiment. I know. You're probably tired of me saying that. I'm always just running an experiment around here. I'm going to be planting dianthus, snapdragons. I'm not sure what else. There's three rows in there, and I think, I don't know, I need some type of foliage, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. But Anyway, so I've got Rose ready, but those are the last plugs coming for obvious reasons. So stay tuned for more. But if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and subscribe. I always forget to say that, but that's just harvested these peppers because I'm starting my florist order for Tuesday, and I know I've said it before, but these make some great foliage. I'll put the name of these peppers up, but she ordered lots of peppers, and these peppers have just come into a second flush from when I cut lots for her the last time.